Hi guys, in this video you will see mystic caves in Laos, also snakes in the alcohol and the real Laos wildlife. I will show you also how it looked on a boat trip because this is only one way how you can get to Pak O caves. And later you will see very weird and a bit bizarre boats and buildings around the river. So again, this video is not only about the beautiful things, but I will show you real Laos and traveling there. And what is important to tell, and many people don't know, that Luang Prabang, this lovely city, it was a political and cultural heart of Laos in the history. It remained the royal capital for a century, surviving invasions, colonization, and war while keeping its religious traditions intact. Later, during the French colonial era, its golden temples were joined by elegant villas and tree-lined avenues, creating a unique blend of Buddhist serenity and a colonial charm. And the Luang Prabang is considered one of the most sacred places in all of Southeast Asia. The air vibrates with a subtle energy, a mix of calmness, humility, and mystery. Many travelers say the town has its own consciousness. Some felt unusual peace, while others experienced intense emotions, as if all suppressed thoughts were rising to the surface. Why it is like that? Guys, you can make your own opinion because later I will show you these places. Also, I will tell you more interesting information and fun facts from history. Let's start our trip because now we have a first stop. In Ban Xang Hai, a village famous for producing Lao Lao, the local rice whiskey. Besides the strong alcohol, locals offer bottles containing snakes or scorpions, a symbol of courage and protection. They say that drinking it gives you strength of the river spirit. Okay, I'm not sure, honestly, I didn't try it, but it looks interesting. And be careful when you will buy a ticket because there is really big difference. On internet, you will find many tours with agencies, but they're offering this trip for over $50 or $60. But this is good hack because near a river you can find one spot, and from this spot is every morning going this boat, and this boat will make with you stop in this cute village. And then you are going to Pak O Caves, what is our final destination. And then this boat is going with you back to Luang Prabang. And for this boat trip, you will pay only $6 or $7. So the difference is really huge, and the boat trip is same. The journey to Pak O is an experience on its own. Traditional wooden boats glide along the Mekong. The silence echoes of the mirror-like surface and small fishing village and jungle-covered hills drift past like a moving painting. Many people say the boat ride itself feels cleansing, almost as if the Mekong River takes all your thoughts and worries and returns only calmness. And now we are slowly heading to Pak O Caves. So let me tell you why is this cave so interesting. Okay, so Pak O Caves, they are about 25 kilometers north of Luang Prabang, at the place where the river O flows into the Mekong. Many locals also, you can find in internet articles many times that these caves are most mysterious caves in Southeast Asia. I'm not sure if they are the first, but definitely they are really mysterious and beautiful. Thousands of small wooden and stone Buddha statues, quietly watching into the darkness, create an atmosphere that words cannot capture. For more than 400 years, locals and monks have been bringing figurines here as offerings, prayers, or expressions of gratitude. Each one carries a different expression, a different hand gesture, and its own story. The caves are divided into two parts. Tam Ting, the lower cave, where soft light from the Mekong illuminates hundreds of statues, and Tam Teung, the upper cave, which is darker, deeper, and far more mystical. Entering the upper cave with a candle or flashlight symbolically represents searching for inner light in darkness. What is interesting is that this place was considered sacred long before it became a Buddhist pilgrimage site. Local animist tribes believed that the river and the rock cavities were the home of spirits and the very gap between the world of the living and the world of spirits. So I hope, guys, you are now very well prepared to see these beautiful caves. And now you can still enjoy with me these beautiful views on the nature around us. And let me tell you, this boat you can see, it's very small. So we've been on this trip, I'm not sure, like 14 people. So really a small group. And this our lovely mini boat was like a centaur because a few parts were from the car, another few parts were from the bus, and many different vehicles. I really don't know how many, but it was possible to go with it, so we enjoyed it. And our captain was a classic guy from Laos, so no word in English, but he was nice, he was smiling, and he was waiting for us 30 minutes while we've been in the village. And later, when we've been in Paco caves, he waited 1 hour for us. And now we are finally coming there. Like you can see, this is entrance, and it's really possible to come there only by boat. So enjoy with me these views because it's really unique. I saw many caves and let's say similar places in Southeast Asia, but this one is really different. It's not only about statues and architecture, but really these are not only stories, the vibes and energy there is really different. So now we are starting in the lower cave, Tam Ting, and this one is more accessible, brighter, and more frequently visited. The upper cave, Tam Teung, requires climbing up or down the stairs, so for some people it can be a bit harder, but I mean, when you are in a good shape or doing some sport, it's not a problem at all. I met there a few guys and they were from Philippines and a bit chubby, and yeah, they were really suffering. So probably it's really better, and don't forget to bring with you a bottle of the fresh water. So now, like you can see, this cave is really interesting and it's different because it's not only about these little Buddha statues, but also the cave and the corners, everything. It's really nice. Okay, and now we are slowly going to the second part. So prepare for a quick cardio and let's enjoy the upper cave Tam Teung. And now it starts to be more interesting because here many visitors feel as if they entered another world. The sound of dripping water, the reflections on the statues, the silence. Several people say they felt the vibration, a strange presence, maybe even other energies. It is the bizarreness at the top of the spirit world. In the darkness of the upper cave, thousands of figurines quietly guard a place where it seems a person's perception begins to shift. And besides spiritual beauty, there is also a bizarre dimension. One legend says that inside the caves, or in the river beside them, lived a giant serpent being, a naga, a water dragon or snake or something between, who protected the place. The merchants sailing along the Mekong stopped at Paco and brought a statue or offering to gain safe passage or success in trade. Another oddity is the mention that some statues were made from animal bones, which is drastically different from usual Buddhist imagery. These elements highlight the blend of animism, the belief in the spirits of nature. And later, according to one historical source, during military invasions and dangerous periods in the 19th century, locals may have used the caves as a refuge. Maybe you saw my previous video about the caves in Vietnam. The story was a bit similar. Although the spiritual aspect is dominant, this practical function of the caves adds another layer, a place between worlds, not only spiritual, but also between life and escape. It deepens the mystery. When you step into a dark cave full of figurines, you may be stepping into a space where prayers, fear, history, and spiritual shelter merge. And now, guys, you can see local houses or buildings. I'm not sure if people live there or what is inside of these houses. Also, you can now see many constructions and boats, even the farms and the guys just swimming and refreshing themselves in the river. So yeah, the life here it's really vibrant, and locals they have very authentic life still here. And let me tell you another legend. According to this one, the caves were discovered by Prince Fa Ngum, the ruler who brought Buddhists to Laos in the 14th century. And while traveling along the Mekong, he stopped at the place where he felt an unseen presence. When he entered the rocks, he saw the silhouette of seated Buddha in the darkness. He then dedicated the place as a sanctuary. Another version claims that the Paco was the gateway to the spirit world of the Mekong River. Local shamans believed that this was where the souls of the dead bid their final farewell to the living. At times, funerary rituals were held here. Bodies were released into the river to be carried into the world of silence. Archaeological research confirms that the caves were inhabited even in prehistoric times. Fragments and ritual objects, ash and the primitive tools have been found here. This suggests that the spiritual significance of the place stretches back thousands of years, long before the era of Buddha.